This week's edition of Eagles on Air was brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Good morning, OHS. Shane Miles here with Casey Nicholas, bringing you another edition of Eagles on Air.
Last Saturday, the marching band went to Schuyler and Wayne State. They received a superior rating at both of these competitions. They received Best Drum Major in Schuyler. So far, they have went 3 for 3 at superior ratings for competitions this year. Let's hope they can keep this up in the competition tomorrow at Madison.
The Nebraska Commissioner of Education, Roger Breed, was in town last Friday observing students in the classroom and at lunch. He came to O'Neill to visit with superintendents and language arts teachers from the northern tier schools.
Dr. Breed was impressed with the 21st century learning that was taking place in the district. He encouraged the district to keep pressing forward with initiatives such as the Chinese language program and 24/7 learning project. The students and staff were pleased to share their teaching and learning with Dr. Breed.
Now let's hand it off to the weather.
Hi, I'm Curtis Milner, and I'm bringing you the weekend weather forecast. On Friday, it'll be sunny and nice with a high of 71 and a low of 47. And on Saturday, there'll be a high of 56 and a low of 37 with showers possible through the day and night. And on Sunday, there'll be a high of 57 and a low of 38, and it'll be cloudy most of the day and night. Now off to Dave.
Dave here with next week's forecast. Monday will be a high of 58, and Tuesday will be a high of 53. Wednesday is looking sunny with a high of 55, and Thursday is also looking sunny with a high of 54. Now off to sports.
Hello, I'm Cody Knopp with Bo Sheets, bringing another edition of O'Neill Sports Weekly. Last couple weeks have been pretty busy here in O'Neill, with last Friday being Parents' Night at the football game, Boone Central coming to town. We ended up losing the game, but we definitely should have won. Today we're traveled to St. Paul to play St. Paul for our last regular season game. Volleyball?
Volleyball had a tournament last weekend with Friend, Lutheran High Northeast, and Twin River. They ended up getting second, losing to Lutheran High Northeast, who won it all. Last Tuesday was Parents' Night. They played very well, but ended up losing.
With cross country, our two state runners, Daniel Waterman and Tasha Lechtenberg, today will be traveling to the state meet in Kearney. So good luck, guys.
The softball team ended up playing David City at districts, and they beat them 8-5. They also played Schuyler and Lutheran High Northeast, beating them too. And they lost to Blair, but Blair was a very good team and ended up doing very well at state.
With girls golf, Allison Depko traveled to state, and she brought home the place of 18. So Allison did very well. She had a good season this year, so good job with all that, Allison. As for sports, this is Cody and Bo signing off.
Thanks, guys.
All-State Choir is going to be held November 18th through the 20th at the Lincoln Lead Center. Our very own Tim Hansen qualified. This isn't an easy competition to make. There are over 2,000 auditions across Nebraska. Out of those 2,000 auditions, only 400 get accepted. Tim has been trying for the last 3 years to make it and finally did this year. Way to go, Tim.
Mock trial competitions start next Wednesday. They will be having a practice this Sunday. Coach Moore had this to say: "I'm learning just as much as my students just because this is my first year coaching mock trial."
Next is a special feature video on thermite reaction. Watch video footage of the experiment while Kevin Zach narrates.
In the flower pot, we have about half a pound of a substance called thermite. Thermite is a physical mixture consisting of a metal powder and another metal combined with oxygen. In this case, we used aluminum powder and iron oxide. This combination is often used in railroad welding and for anti-tank missiles in the military. We will be igniting this mixture with magnesium ribbon, which burns at temperatures of nearly 3,000 degrees Celsius. When ignited, the aluminum takes the oxide from the iron, resulting in a self-sustaining reaction that produces aluminum oxide, molten iron, and a tremendous amount of energy.
Thanks, Kevin. And now it's time to hear from our favorite movie critic, Randy Baker. Let's hear what Randy has to say about the movie he just watched.
O'Neill, what's happening? Time for a movie review. Okay. The movie Robin Hood is about a character who is obviously Robin Hood. He's played by Russell Crowe, and he is an outlaw in England and is caught in a confrontation with a man while Robin is hosting a shell game, which is ball to cup Hide it. No. All right. So the man claims that Robin is hiding the ball, and as a result, Robin gets very angry and punches him in the face, which ultimately turns into a large-scale brawl between the two. The king gets involved and asks Robin a few questions. One of these questions deals with the king's reign, under which the code of chivalry, Robin has to tell him what he thinks about it, and he says that he doesn't like it and that it pretty much stinks. The king places Robin and his crew in a hold. They get out while I believe to be as like a thief or something releases them. That's friends with them, and the guards are watching them. No, not yet. So everybody's busy with this battle with France, so Robin and his crew roll out of there quite quickly and are in the wilderness escaping from the town. They witness a group of Englishmen carrying the Lord of England's crown being ambushed by a group of Frenchmen. They interrupt the attack, and Robin decides it would be a good idea to take the fallen knight's armor and clothing and take the crown back to the Lord's son and wife. This all works out to their advantage since they appear as knights and are actually respected, and the plot thickens even more. Now, normally, at the end of my reviews, I would point out the bad aspects of this movie, but to be completely honest, this movie... No, not yet. This movie rocked my socks off, okay? And I'm typically a comedy movie person, so sadly enough, my friend Cody here will not be getting his weekly ration of bologna. This movie's pretty good, and I highly suggest it. Sorry, man.
Thanks, Randy. That must be a really good movie to get 5 out of 5 bologna pieces.
I bet you're wondering why I'm wearing this hat. All this week, Connor Peterson and I have been selling stickers for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. If you bought a sticker, either a one-day pass or an all-week pass, you could wear a hat for either that day or the whole week. Please be sure to talk to Delight Hole about the Make-A-Wish Foundation if you have any more questions. Thank you. Well, that's all for this week's edition of Eagles on Air. Hope to see you next week.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Eagles on Air. If you have any news or comments for future broadcasts, you can email us at eaglesonairnews@gmail.com.